If your kid had a built-in alarm system, it would already be glowing red like a submarine about to hit the ocean floor, with a guy named Steve yelling, "Brace for impact!" But kids don't make noise when something's wrong. They go subtle. A sudden, "I'm fine." A personality shift that feels off. Silence where yesterday there wasn't. Parents expect crisis to arrive with sirens, but danger doesn't shout. It hides in ordinary behavior. And the signs aren't loud. They're microscopic until the day they're not. Today, we're decoding the 9 silent alarms your child's already sending. Red flag number 1, the personality 180, aka, who is this child and where is mine? Kids don't randomly wake up as different people. If your kid's personality suddenly does a U-turn, something underneath is shifting. One day they're bubbly, the next they're a human houseplant. Your chill kid snaps at the dog for breathing too confidently. The dog, understandably, files an HR complaint. Your confident kid now says, "Never mind, forget it," like they're canceling their own thoughts mid-air. Parents love to shrug this off like totally normal teen stuff. Yeah, because nothing says totally fine like emotional whiplash and staring into space for 40 minutes. But here's the part nobody tells you. Big personality changes are protection behavior. When something feels unsafe, kids shut down, withdraw, or react in ways even they don't understand. And the worst thing you can say? "You're being dramatic." In kid language, that translates to, "Your emotions aren't safe here." What works instead is stupidly simple. "I noticed you seem different lately. I'm not judging, just checking in." That one sentence does what interrogation never can. It tells them the door is open, and you're not walking away if the truth is messy. Think about this for a second. Kids who shift their entire personality rarely stop at one behavior change. And the next red flag is even easier to miss. Red flag number 2, the "everything's fine" mask, aka the suspiciously cheerful crisis mode. If your kid suddenly starts acting like a suspiciously cheerful Walmart greeter who's been up for 36 hours and just watched someone shoplift a turkey, that kind of cheerful, they're lying. Kids don't say fine unless something is absolutely, categorically, emotionally on fire. Fine is kid code for 4 terrifying translations. "I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to worry you. I'm scared you'll overreact. This problem feels bigger than me." If fine had a warning label, it would be "contents under pressure. Do not shake." Parents hear fine and think, "Oh, thank God, stability." But in reality, you've just been handed a diplomatic press statement from a child who is spiraling. And here's the twist most adults never see coming. Kids hide danger because they think you can't handle their truth. They're protecting you, even though they're the ones drowning. And it's brutal how common that is. Watch for these danger zone behaviors. Too cheerful, too polite, too agreeable, too "don't worry, I'm good" smiley face. When your kid becomes the CEO of Overcompensation Inc. with a side hustle and emotional misdirection, something underneath is cracking. Because here's the uncomfortable reality. Kids don't fix their behavior when they're upset. They polish it to hide the mess. And polishing only works until the pressure gets too high. Which brings us to the next red flag. And it's one parents almost always miss. Red flag number 3. Friend group whiplash, aka wait, who are these kids? Parents obsess over their kids' behavior and completely forget that kids communicate through their friend choices. And when a kid's social circle does a hard left turn, that's not a phase. That's a plot twist. If your child, out of nowhere, drops old friends, avoids talking about new ones, stops inviting anyone over, starts hanging out with people who feel like NPCs from a game you didn't install, and suddenly every group chat has a name like the Chaos Coven, something's up. Kids don't abandon their friend group just because they got bored. Something triggered the shift. A conflict, a betrayal, a new influence, or a situation they don't know how to escape. Most parents say, as long as they're not bad kids. But here's the truth most parents don't want to look at. Kids don't choose bad kids. They choose mirrors. They don't find new friends. They find emotional echoes. A lonely child finds lonely friends. A hurting child finds hurting friends. A child in trouble finds trouble and calls it companionship. Friend group changes aren't background noise. They're the subtitled track revealing everything your kid refuses to say out loud. And if their social world suddenly feels like it's been reorganized by a malfunctioning algorithm, that's your red flag waving in 4K. Most parents miss this part entirely. When kids feel unsafe socially, the next behavior they develop is hiding. Not from friends, from you. Red flag number 4, privacy that feels like hiding, aka the CIA intern phase. Every kid wants privacy, but when your kid starts acting like an undercover CIA operative guarding classified documents, that's not privacy, that's containment. You knock. They panic. You enter. They slam their laptop like they're hiding evidence from Interpol. You ask, who are you talking to? They mysteriously forgot how language works. Suddenly, your fluent child is speaking in buffering noises. No one, nothing, bye. Parents say, typical teen. No, typical teens hide embarrassment. Kids in danger hide secrets. In the locked doors, the hidden screens, the phone flipping faster than a blackjack dealer, none of that is about independence. It's about shame. And shame is danger's shadow. Where shame appears, something deeper is happening out of sight. Here's the part that stings a little. The more a child hides, the more they're hurting. Not because they don't trust you, but because they're terrified you'll see the thing they're struggling with and look disappointed. And when kids start hiding emotionally, there's one area that collapses next, and most parents end up blaming the wrong thing. Red flag number 5, the academic free fall, aka your portal is now a crime scene. Kids don't go from A's to, please log into the portal immediately, for no reason. Grades aren't academic. They're emotional diagnostics. A kid in distress can't concentrate. They can't start tasks. They procrastinate. If procrastination were an Olympic sport, your kid's browser tabs would already have sponsorships. Parents love to say, you're being lazy. But laziness in kids is just stress wearing sweatpants. Kids under stress freeze. Kids in fear avoid. Kids overwhelmed shut down their brain's Wi-Fi and pray nobody notices. A sudden academic crash doesn't mean your child stopped caring. It means their brain quietly switched into survival mode. And survival mode does not care about math worksheets, science projects, or the 19 overdue assignments your portal is currently screaming about. And this is the piece that usually slips past adults completely. Before a child's grades collapse, their voice collapses first. And the next warning sign doesn't make noise at all. It hides in the quiet. Red flag number 6, the dangerous kind of quiet, aka, are they peaceful or powered off? Silence can look like peace from the outside, but inside, their brain is a constant low battery light that never switches off. Parents see a quiet child and think, wow, maturity. Nope, that's not maturity. That's a system shutdown. The emotional equivalent of the spinning rainbow beach ball on a MacBook. There are 2 types of quiet kids. 1, the peaceful ones, little monk energy, draw pictures, whisper at butterflies, zen, harmless. 2, the powered down ones, the kids who look like someone's gently holding their off button. They're not calm, they're buffering. Your once talkative kid suddenly acts like a background character in their own life. They stop complaining. Scary. They stop arguing. Terrifying. They stop having opinions. DEFCON 2. They stop laughing at things they used to find hilarious. Alert the authorities! You show them the same meme that made them choke on cereal last week. Nothing. Not even a nose exhale. You offer ice cream and they say, whatever. That's not a mood. That's a distress signal. Parents say, they're finally growing up. No, they're not growing up. They're growing numb. Kids go quiet for very specific reasons. They feel like a burden, they're overstimulated and shutting down for safety, they're ashamed of something and don't want you to see it in their eyes, they're scared of disappointing you, they feel unsafe somewhere, school, friends, online, somewhere in their world. The loud kids get attention. The rebellious kids get intervention. The quiet kids, they get accidentally ignored because their distress is invisible. And here's the heartbreaking twist. Quiet kids don't want to bother anyone. They don't explode, they implode. The sweetest kids can be drowning silently while everyone applauds how easy they are to raise. It's emotional camouflage, and they're masters at it. If your naturally quiet kid becomes silent quiet, the kind of quiet you can feel in the room, that's not peace. That's a missing heartbeat. Lean in gently, not with interrogation, with invitation. Hey, I've noticed you're quieter than usual. Want space or company? I'm here either way. That one sentence has saved more kids than every grounding combined. And you'll need it even more when the next red flag kicks in, because their body starts screaming what their mouth still refuses to say. Red flag number 7, the body language that doesn't match their words, aka their mouth says, "I'm fine," but their shoulders say, "Send help." Kids almost never say, "I'm in danger," but their bodies scream it in surround sound. If your kid flinches at touch, avoids eye contact, shrinks into themselves, tenses up when certain topics come up, gets jumpy around certain noises or certain people, that's not personality. That's a warning signal. Once you know what to look for, their tiny behaviors start speaking fluently, telling the story long before their words ever do. You ask about school, their shoulders rise like they're trying to become a turtle. You're not sure if your kid needs comfort or a terrarium. You mention a friend, their face goes completely blank. You say a family member's name, silence, stillness, eyes down. And when a kid's body starts signaling danger, the very next thing they do is avoid the source entirely. Not subtly, not gradually, immediately. Red flag number 8, the sudden, "I don't want to go" syndrome, aka the GPS system kids don't know they're using. If you really want to know where the danger's hiding, don't check their grades, don't check their phone, check what they suddenly refuse to go to. School, practice, grandma's house, your friend's house, church, a club they used to love, a babysitter they never complained about. Kids don't suddenly boycott places like they're protesting bad customer service. When a child flat out refuses to go somewhere they used to enjoy, something at that location or someone has become unsafe. And here's where parents accidentally miss the message. Stop being dramatic. You've always loved piano. You're going. Kids don't avoid places on a whim. They avoid them because something there doesn't feel safe. Something happened. Avoidance is directional. It's a map. A neon arrow pointing straight at the thing they're scared to name out loud. And when that fear builds up with nowhere to go, it doesn't disappear. It leaks into something parents do notice. Red flag number 9, the mood swings that make no sense, aka the emotional ceiling fan of doom. Teenagers are emotional weather systems, yes, but there's a massive difference between normal mood swing, they're mad because you said no to Starbucks and suddenly you're literally ruining their life, versus red flag mood swing. They're mad, then sad, then terrified, then blank, then acting like nothing ever happened. All in the same evening, and for absolutely no identifiable reason. That's not teen stuff. That's a nervous system waving a tiny white flag and whispering, "I'm no longer accepting new emotions at this time." When kids are in crisis, it rarely looks dramatic from the outside. It shows up as tiny, confusing shifts in how they act. Their tolerance drops. Their coping skills glitch. Their ability to self-soothe evaporates like Wi-Fi when you need it most. They oscillate like a malfunctioning ceiling fan. Loud, unpredictable, and one wrong move, and someone's catching an emotional blade to the face. And here's what almost everyone gets wrong. Erratic moods aren't the problem. They're the smoke. And if you just wave the smoke away, you'll never find a fire pit of broken feelings underneath. Something deeper, bigger, scarier, more overwhelming is the fire. And this is exactly the point where most parents panic, or lecture, or ground, or assume it's hormones. But if you react to the smoke, you'll miss the fire. What you do next. The part that determines whether your kid opens up or shuts down completely after you've seen these red flags. Are you ready for the steps that actually help? What to do now that you see the signs. When something's wrong, your kid doesn't need a perfect parent. They need a regulated one. Step 1, stay calm. This is not the time to clutch your pearls or look like someone just told you TikTok is deleting tomorrow. If you panic, they shut down. Their brain stops asking, am I safe? And starts asking, will mom freak out? One gasp, one panic blink, and your kid is emotionally gone for the next 48 hours. Step 2, lead with safety, not judgment. Say, you're not in trouble. I'm here to help. Watch their shoulders drop. Step 3, ask one open door, not 20 closed ones. Your goal isn't to play 20 questions with a hostage. Just crack the door open gently and let them know you're not going anywhere. Has anything been making you uncomfortable lately? That single question does more than every interrogation combined. Step 4, space, presence, and backup. Don't hover, don't disappear. Be nearby, be steady, and get help early. You don't wait for a house to be fully on fire before calling firefighters. Same rule here. Step 5, don't take their behavior personally. Yes, they rolled their eyes so hard they nearly saw their own brainstem. No, it's not about you. Kids often push away the safest parent. You're the soft landing. That's a good thing. The truth parents miss. Kids rarely say, I'm not okay, but they always show it through personality shifts, grade crashes, silence, avoidance, new friends, no friends, oversleeping, not sleeping, clinginess, distance. Danger doesn't shout. It whispers, and kids whisper through behavior. Those little red flags you used to shrug off, that's the alarm system, quietly screaming. You don't have to fix everything instantly. Notice, ask gently, stay steady. Because the safest kid isn't the one who never hits danger. It's the one who knows their parent will catch even the quietest cry for help, especially those, every single time.